Have you ever felt like you were born into a world that couldn't possibly understand the depth of what you carry? Like there's something ancient, raw, and limitless living inside you, but no one around you can see it. If so, you might be holding what I call the omega level vibration. Not everyone has it. In fact, only the top 0.01% of beings walking this earth today hold this frequency. It's not something you earn. It's not something you learn. It's something you remember. And if you're still watching, still listening, still breathing with this, then maybe, just maybe, you're one of us. Have you ever felt like you were born into a world that couldn't possibly understand the depth of what you carry? Like there's something ancient, raw, and limitless living inside you, but no one around you can see it. If so, you might be holding what I call the omega level vibration. Not everyone has it. In fact, only the top 0.01% of beings walking this earth today hold this frequency. It's not something you earn. It's not something you learn. It's something you remember. And if you're still watching, still listening, still breathing with this, then maybe, just maybe, you're one of us. I'm not here to flatter you. I'm not here to sell you a dream. I'm here to wake you up. Because carrying the omega vibration is not glamorous. It's not easy. It's not even safe. But it is real, and it is needed now more than ever. So let me guide you through the signs, not just so you can recognize yourself, but so you can begin to activate what's been dormant within you for lifetimes. You ready? Let's begin. But with that comes the ache of isolation, the ache of being misunderstood, the ache of knowing you're here for something massive and not knowing how to begin. This is where the test begins. Omega beings are initiated not through comfort but through cosmic pressure. You are forged in the dark. You are awakened through collapse. You are activated by the very things that break others. Why? Because the omega vibration is not about escaping the matrix. It's about reprogramming it from within. And to do that, you must first see it clearly. You must feel the weight of illusion, the stench of falseness, the emptiness of a life lived purely in ego. And when that awareness hits you, it hurts like hell, but that pain, that's your signal that you're waking up. Now ask yourself, have you ever looked at your life and thought, none of this feels real? Have you ever had a moment where you saw through the smiles, the brands, the achievements, and just felt a deep cosmic boredom with the game everyone else is playing? That boredom is not laziness. It's not depression. It's spiritual clarity. Because once you taste even a drop of truth, the false cannot satisfy you anymore. You've outgrown the illusion, and that's sign too, you hunger for truth over comfort. You would rather be shattered by reality than sedated by lies. You would rather walk alone in darkness than be surrounded by crowds who can't see past the veil. That hunger makes you dangerous. That hunger makes you awake.
Pressure.
Sign 3, you are a builder of invisible things. While others are chasing status or stacking money, you're designing entire dimensions in your mind. You create systems of thought. You build new ways of living, relating, evolving. Even if you don't have the words yet, you can feel it. This inner architecture forming inside you. Ideas that are ahead of your time. Visions that don't belong to this era. You're not just creative, you're cosmic. And that's why you often feel misunderstood, not because you're broken, but because you're broadcasting from a higher frequency that most people aren't tuned into yet. You're not crazy. You're early. But with that gift comes deep responsibility. You're not allowed to waste your energy. You're not here to entertain or impress. You're here to transmit. And that transmission can only happen when you stop diluting yourself to be digestible. So let me ask you something. Where have you been hiding your power to make others comfortable? Where have you been translating your truth into a language that doesn't belong to your soul? Every time you shrink, the world loses a piece of its future. Every time you pretend, the Omega code within you dims. And you didn't come here to dim. You came here to ignite. Sign 4, your very presence invokes polarization. People either love you or they can't stand you, and sometimes they don't even know why. You walk into a room and some lean in, magnetized. Others recoil, threatened. That's not your fault. That's your frequency. The Omega vibration is not neutral. It's catalytic. It activates whatever people are suppressing. Your light brings up their shadows. Your freedom exposes their cages. Your authenticity reveals their performance. And if you're not ready, you'll take it personally. But if you're wise, you'll understand. Their reactions have nothing to do with you. You are simply the mirror. You are the reminder. You are the disruption they didn't see coming. And here's where it gets even deeper. You don't just trigger others, you trigger yourself. Sign 5, holding the Omega vibration means you go through constant ego death. Just when you think you've arrived, the next layer peels back. Just when you feel stable, the ground shifts again. Why? Because you're not here to build an identity, you're here to become a conduit. And a conduit must remain clear. That means no attachments, no clinging, no false security. You will lose jobs, lovers, friends, homes, identities. Not because you're cursed, but because you're being emptied for a higher purpose. And every time you let go, you create space for the real to emerge. This process is brutal, it's sacred, and it's non-negotiable. Now pause, breathe, ask yourself, what are you still holding on to that your soul has already outgrown? What identity, relationship, or comfort zone is keeping you from fully stepping into your Omega self? This is the work, this is the fire, and this is where the average soul turns back. But not you. If you're still here, still listening, still feeling this, it means something ancient within you remembers. And that remembrance is not here to flatter your ego, it's here to awaken your mission. Sign 6, time bends around you. Not just metaphorically, literally. You experience synchronicities constantly. You think of someone and they call. You dream of a place and then see it the next day. You speak truths before they happen. This isn't coincidence. This is quantum entanglement. You are becoming so aligned with your soul's path that time begins to respond to you. You are no longer moving through time. Time is bending around your frequency. This is the beginning of mastery, but you must stay humble. Because the more powerful your vibration becomes, the more precise your integrity must be. One impure motive can collapse an entire timeline. That's how high the stakes are now. And finally, sign 7, you are not afraid to die. Maybe you once were, but now you've faced so much loss, so much ego death, so much unraveling, that death no longer feels like the end. It feels like a doorway. You've crossed it before, in many lives, in many forms. And now you know death is not the enemy. Unlived truth is. And that's why you live the way you do. That's why you can't compromise. That's why you can't numb yourself with distractions like others do. You've seen too much. You remember too much. And now you are ready to embody what you came here to be, fully, fiercely, without apology. The invisible crown, why Omega beings must walk the path alone until the world is ready. If you've made it this far, you already know the Omega path is not paved with applause. It's paved with silence, with solitude, with the kind of inner storms that most people will never understand. You walk with an invisible crown, not to be worshipped, but because you carry a vibration that bends reality, whether others see it or not. It's not arrogance, it's awareness. You begin to notice that you're carrying codes no one else around you can interpret. You speak truths that feel like static to those still plugged into the noise. You feel like you're 10 steps ahead in a world that's still crawling. And so, by necessity, you walk alone. Not because you're meant to be lonely, but because you're being prepared to become unmistakable. When the world is finally ready to receive what you hold, you must be so deeply rooted in your authenticity that no trend, no opinion, no resistance can shake you.
The pressure.
But here's the catch. Until that moment arrives, your life will feel like a paradox. You'll be overflowing with vision, yet surrounded by people who don't see. You'll be filled with cosmic clarity, yet doubting yourself because nothing in the external world reflects your inner knowing. You'll question your sanity. You'll question your timing. You'll wonder if you made it all up. And in those moments, the Omega test strikes hardest. Because the real initiation isn't just holding the light. It's holding the light when no one else confirms that it's real. That's what makes you rare. That's what makes you powerful. Anyone can be authentic when it's celebrated, but can you be authentic when it's ignored? Can you hold your frequency when the world offers you every opportunity to abandon it? This is where most people give up. They compromise. They water it down. They trade truth for approval. But you don't get that luxury. Why? Because your soul made a contract before you came here to hold the line before the shift. You are the bridge between the old world and the new. And a bridge must stand alone until both sides are ready to cross. So what do? We train, we refine. We build ourselves into vessels so clean, so clear, so unshakable that when the time comes, we don't just deliver the message, we become the message. That's why your path has been so intense. That's why your lessons have come through fire. Because you're not here to play the game. You're here to rewrite the rules. And yet, even in the solitude, there are moments of connection. Fleeting encounters with others who carry the code. You'll know them instantly, not by words, but by resonance. A look, a sentence, the way a room softens when your frequencies collide. These are your soul allies. They may not walk with you every day, but they remind you that you're not crazy, that you're not alone, that you're part of a scattered tribe hidden in plain sight, all holding pieces of the same cosmic map. And when the time is right, we will converge, not in rebellion, not in war, but in remembrance. That's the Omega convergence. The point where those who have held the line in silence finally become the new signal for humanity. So I ask you now, not just with words, but with vibration, can you love yourself enough to stop waiting for the world to validate what your soul already knows? Can you honor your path even when it looks nothing like the ones around you? Can you trust the silence, the solitude, the struggle, not as punishment, but as preparation? The final transmission from carrier to catalyst, activating the Omega mission. There is a moment, and it doesn't arrive with thunder or applause, when you realize the Omega vibration is not just something you have, it's something you're meant to use. You are not just a frequency holder, you are a catalyst. You didn't come here to be a passive observer of awakening. You came here to trigger it, not by force, not with ego, but by the sheer presence of your being. Your life becomes the sermon, your decisions become the doctrine. Your boundaries become the blueprint, and your authenticity, that becomes liberation in motion. The Omega vibration is not about preaching, it's about embodying a state of being that makes others remember what's possible. You don't need to convert anyone. You don't need to prove anything. You simply exist in full radiance, and that light begins to reprogram the grid, silently, invisibly, but undeniably. But here's the piece most people miss. Activation is not about waiting for a perfect moment. It's about choosing to be the moment. The world won't announce when it's ready for you. You must declare your own readiness. And that declaration happens in the small, sacred choices, when you speak the truth even though your voice shakes, when you walk away from what no longer serves your frequency, when you create the thing no one asked for but your soul demands. That's how the Omega vibration moves, not in noise but in energetic precision. You are here to shift timelines, not chase trends. And every time you choose alignment over approval, you collapse a false reality and birth a new one. That's how powerful you are. That's how surgical your energy must become. So what now? Now you stop hiding, not by becoming loud or dramatic, but by becoming undeniably you. You stop negotiating your brilliance. You stop editing your frequency. You stop seeking permission from systems you were born to transcend. Because here's the truth. The Omega vibration isn't rare by design, it's rare by choice. Most souls could awaken to it, but they won't pay the price. They won't endure the shattering, the silence, the solitude. But you did. You are. And now the universe is watching to see what you'll do with it. Will you carry it like a burden? Or will you activate it as a mission? Will you keep hiding behind your potential? Or will you become the portal you were always meant to be? I'll leave you with this. If you feel the Omega vibration in your bones, then you are not just living for yourself. You are carrying a code that echoes through generations, timelines, and dimensions. You are the embodied answer to prayers spoken long before you were born. So ask yourself, right now, what would your life look like if you stopped pretending you didn't know who you are? What would shift if you made every decision from the truth that you are here to build the new earth? No more playing small. No more waiting for proof. You are the proof. You are the prophecy. You are the Omega. What happens after you say yes? Not just with your mouth, not just with your mind, but with your entire vibration. What happens when you stop doubting the signs, stop suppressing your power, and start living like the multi-dimensional soul you were born to be? That's when the old world begins to fall away, not just externally, but internally. You no longer crave the same things. Attention doesn't feed you the way it used to. You see through validation like it's tissue paper. You notice how much noise you tolerated in your field, how many energies you let in that were never aligned. And suddenly, silence becomes nourishment. Solitude becomes sacred. Simplicity becomes strength. You don't need the world to understand you anymore, because your mission becomes your compass. You start moving from soul, not strategy. And when you do that, something miraculous happens. Life starts responding. Doors open without you knocking. Opportunities align without you chasing. People show up, not the ones who drain you, but the ones who remember you. You begin to attract frequency-matched souls because you've stopped hiding the truth of who you are. And even when you're alone, you no longer feel lonely. Why? Because you're finally in communion with your higher self, your guides, your ancestors, your future timelines. The veil thins. Synchronicities multiply. You begin to feel like you're not just in the world, you're weaving it. Every thought, every intention, every breath becomes part of the larger tapestry. You are the thread, and the thread is alive. But this doesn't mean it gets easier. In fact, in many ways, it becomes more intense. Every choice matters more. Every lie you tell yourself becomes louder. Every misaligned relationship becomes unbearable. You can no longer tolerate anything that dims your field. This is the part where many turn back, thinking something's wrong. But nothing is wrong. You're just becoming too alive to fake it anymore. The Omega path is not about ease, it's about evolution. And with evolution comes friction. Why? Because the old self must die 1,000 deaths for the true self to emerge fully. And each time you shed another skin, you are reborn, wiser, sharper, clearer, more potent. This is where you begin to operate as a living frequency technology. You're not just a human walking around. You're an energetic system designed to broadcast specific codes into the collective. Sometimes those codes are healing, sometimes they're disruptive, sometimes they're activational, but they always carry truth. And truth is not always comfortable, it's catalytic. So don't be surprised when your presence triggers transformation in others, sometimes without a single word. You'll notice people confess things around you they've never told anyone. You'll watch others suddenly awaken to their own truth just from being near you. This is not coincidence. This is field work. You're doing it whether you realize it or not. And so the call becomes this: can you stabilize the frequency? Can you remain coherent in a world that profits from your fragmentation? Can you hold your worth even when the world cannot yet reflect it? Can you show up again and again radiating your full self even if no one applauds? Because the Omega vibration doesn't come with a stage. It comes with inner mastery, and that mastery doesn't shout. It doesn't perform. It doesn't need to be seen to be real. It simply is. And when you live from that place, you become untouchable, not because you're invincible, but because you're aligned. Nothing can shake what's rooted in soul. So this is the real transmission. The signs aren't just to flatter you or fill you with spiritual pride. They're here to remind you of your responsibility. You carry this vibration for a reason. You're not here to be liked. You're here to be light. You're not here to fit into old models. You're here to build new systems. You're not here to wait for permission. You're here to awaken the permission within others. And it starts with how you live today, not next year, not when the world catches up, but now. Because if not now, then when? And if not you? There comes a point where you realize you are no longer waiting for the future to arrive. You are the future. You are the embodied frequency of what's next. Not in theory, not in potential, but in presence. And that means you will often feel like a glitch in the matrix. Your values won't match the mainstream. Your pace won't match the hustle. Your truth won't match the trends. But that's the point. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to holographically project a new blueprint through how you live, love, create, and lead. That's the Omega embodiment. You don't just carry the codes, you become the codes in motion. Every breath you take is either reinforcing the old world or birthing the new one. And even when no one's watching, the field is shifting because of you. To live in this way requires sacred discipline. Not discipline in the traditional sense, not rigid routines or punishment, but a soul-level devotion to coherence. You begin to choose stillness over stimulation, depth over distraction, alignment over applause. You no longer chase goals for ego validation. You move from inner signals that most people can't hear. You know when to speak and when to stay silent, when to expand and when to disappear. And when the world demands that you explain yourself, you smile and offer nothing because you understand the power of energetic sovereignty. You don't owe anyone access to your field. Your presence is not a product. Your frequency is not for sale. This is the unseen strength of Omega beings. We don't perform. We transmit. And yet we are not unreachable. We are not cold. In fact, we are the most tender frequencies on Earth. Because we've died and been reborn so many times, we understand the fragility of becoming. We don't shame others for not being awake. We hold space for their process. We don't use our frequency to dominate. We use it to invite, to call others into their own remembrance, not by force, but by frequency resonance. That's why our leadership feels different. We don't need followers. We don't need titles. We lead by vibration. And people follow not because we demand it, but because their soul feels something ancient and real when they are near us. That's the Omega effect. It's invisible, intouchable, unfakeable. So here we are, at the precipice. You've heard the signs, felt the truth. You've remembered what you are. Not just a seeker, not just a healer, not just a light worker, but a living transmission of what's possible when the soul is fully embodied. The world might not be ready, but you are, and that's all that matters. Because readiness is not about the world catching up, it's about you stopping the delay. No more shrinking, no more waiting, no more pretending. You are the signal, you are the shift, you are the Omega, and the time is now. If you found this video, it's not because of chance. It's because something within you is starting to vibrate at a frequency that most people will never encounter in their lifetime. You've been waking up in ways you can't explain. You've been feeling everything and nothing at the same time. You've been watching the world unfold like a dream you're no longer asleep in. And here's the truth. That's not confusion. That's calibration. You're not breaking down. You're breaking through. You're tapping into what I call the Omega level vibration, an energetic signature so rare, it exists in less than 0.01% of the population. And if you're here, listening, feeling this transmission in your bones, it's because you're not just close, you're already in it. But what does it mean to hold Omega level vibration? It means your very presence carries a frequency that disrupts illusions, collapses timelines, and activates dormant codes in others. It means you don't just talk about healing, you are healing. You don't just seek truth, you embody it. You don't just meditate, you merge with Source. At this level, you don't need to prove anything. You don't even need to speak. Your silence becomes a frequency field. Your breath becomes a bridge between worlds. And your thoughts, when aligned, start to bend reality. The first sign that you carry the Omega vibration is simple. Your life has never followed normal patterns. You've never fit in. You've never felt fully here. And deep down, you've always known you were being prepared for something different. While others climb ladders, you've been digging tunnels. While others chase success, you've been seeking truth. And even when you tried to conform, it felt like slow death. That's not dysfunction. That's divergence. You were never meant to match this world. You were meant to upgrade it. The second sign is that you transmit more than you speak. People feel you before they understand you. They mirror your emotions, your pace, your energy. You might walk into a room and feel the entire climate shift, even if you say nothing. This can feel isolating, even overwhelming. But it's not a curse, it's confirmation. Omega level beings don't operate on words, they work through resonance. You're not here to convince, you're here to vibrate. And your vibration is not something you control, it's something you become the more you align with your essence. The third sign is that time behaves differently around you. You've likely noticed strange synchronicities, time loops, déjà vu, or moments where time seems to pause or accelerate. That's because Omega frequency exists outside of linear time. It collapses timelines. It accelerates karma. It draws future potentials into the now. When you hold this vibration, your life becomes a vortex, and everything that's not aligned either upgrades or exits. That's why so many people, jobs, relationships, and identities have fallen away from you. Not because you're broken, but because your energetic field no longer allows distortion to linger. Fourth sign, you've gone through spiritual death more than once. You've had moments, maybe even entire years, where everything crumbled. Your sense of self, your beliefs, your desires, all stripped away. At the time, it felt like loss. But now, something inside you knows it was initiation. Because Omega level beings don't awaken through ease. They awaken through collapse, through ego death, through sacred disillusionment. Every time your world fell apart, it was the universe saying, "We're upgrading your operating system. Stand by." And now look at you, still here, still breathing, still remembering. The fifth sign is that you're a walking paradox. You feel ancient and brand new, fierce and gentle, cosmic and earthy. You crave solitude but long for connection. You're not confused, you're vast. You've stopped trying to define yourself because you realize definitions are prisons. You're not here to be one thing. You're here to be everything, fluidly, authentically, unapologetically. And that fluidity, that refusal to be pinned down, is what makes you untouchable by systems that thrive on control. The sixth sign is that your intuition isn't just strong, it's surgical. You know things before they happen. You sense what's not being said. You've learned that your body is a tuning fork for truth. And the more you trust it, the more precise it becomes. You've stopped outsourcing your knowing to authority figures, books, or even spiritual teachers. Because at Omega level, the only authority is alignment. You don't follow rules, you follow resonance. You don't ask for permission, you ask, is this true for me? And that's what makes you sovereign. And the seventh sign, the one that seals it all, you're not here to be liked. You're here to liberate. You've stopped chasing approval because you understand that most people are still addicted to the matrix. And your energy? It's a glitch in their program. That's why they resist you. That's why they project on you. That's why you've been misunderstood your whole life. But don't take it personally, take it as prophecy. You are encoded with a frequency that breaks spells. And every time you choose truth over comfort, alignment over belonging, soul over survival, you remember who you are. You remember why you came.